Hey YouTube, Grunt Reviews. Got one I've been excited to get my hands on for a while, and it finally showed up. Guys, this is going to be our unboxing and tabletop on the SCAR 17 NRCH, or the non-reciprocating charging handle version. Guys, as always, go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your thoughts, share us with your friends, and as always, I've got my Buy Me a Coffee link in the description, and those of you who have supported us, we definitely do appreciate it, and let's get into it. We are going to jump right into this bad boy. So, obviously cardboard box. We get our egg crate foam there, get that out of the way. And we have all our goodies. So, FN does not include a whole ton with this bad boy. You get the all-important SCAR sticker. You get your manuals and literature, your NSSF, and then your manual. You get a single magazine, and then you get your FN branded lock. Of course, we get the firearm itself, the star of the show, and then that is pretty much it. So let's get this box out of the way, and we will take a look at the rifle. All right, so here she is in all of her glory. You'll notice that with the updated, the NRCH, the non-reciprocating charging handle versions, they really look about the same as the old ones. So we will start at the muzzle and work our way back. Of course, you do get a very nice muzzle brake flash hider combo. So you've kind of got that 3-prong or 4-prong flash hider up front, and then you do have that brake setup as well. As we move our way back, they do have the integrated flip-up sights built into it. So there's a single button here. We pull it forward, and we're able to flip that up. This does adjust with a M4 or M16 style adjustment tool. And then it is a Torx bit, I want to say a T15 offhand, to adjust your left or right on the front sight. Do have a 2.5 position gas regulator. So you have a normal version, and then you have a suppressed setting, and then there is one more setting which is over at the 4 o'clock, and that is for disassembly and removal. But basically normal and suppressed. And something that should be noted with this, FN, even though they give you a suppressed setting, has basically said if you use a suppressor, you are on your own in terms of warranty. I know there's people who've had different experiences with that, but it is something to be mentioned. So on the front, you do get an ambidextrous hook style sling mount on both sides there. We of course get a pick rail section on either side of the gun for mounting accessories, and then we have one continuous one on the bottom as well too. And then down the top, of course, we have a full-length pick rail there for optics and whatever other accessories you'd like to mount. As we work our way a little bit further back, we do get some venting along the front on both sides. And then we get to the charging handle. So this is an ambidextrous charging handle, and it comes with two different handles here. So you have a slightly extended offset one, so that would be whatever side your primary charging side, whatever hand that may be. It's out of the way, so if you are running an optic, you don't get that lovely knuckle drag on there. And then they do give you one on the other side. And these are very easily reversible. You take the bolt out, slide them out, move them over. So you can set it up left-handed or right-handed, whatever is more comfortable for you. And what's cool about this charging handle setup is it's, I'm going to call it half reciprocating, half non-reciprocating. So when it's locked all the way forward and it's clipped in, it will not move with the bolt, so it will not reciprocate. once you pull that sled, and you can hear the pop off of its lock, it's essentially locked to the bolt both directions. And then we lock her back into place. So it will function somewhat as a forward assist. If you're having some sort of malfunction you need to clear out, it does help with that as well. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds on charging handles. A lot of the benefits of a recip, but when you're actually firing, you don't have to worry about scar bite that most people have heard about. Moving our way to the back, of course this is the FDE version, so it does have that multicolor mismatched. Not sure if that's a marketing thing or if they just got a bunch of parts in different colors and said, to heck with it, throw it together. But the lower is polymer, and it does have an ambidextrous mag release. So we do have that on both sides. It is in the standard AR location, but they only give you a left-hand bolt release. So you can still release the bolt with the charging handle, but if you are a lefty, they don't give you the ambidextrous option there. Safety on this is an ambi safety as well too, and it is a shorter throw, about a 45-degree angle there. Does come with a standard A2 style grip. And as we move our way to the back, we have two more hook style sling points. We have an offset one because of the way that the stock folds, and then we do have our flip up iron sights, and of course these are adjustable. And then we have the iconic look of the Scar. We have the UGG boot style stock. So if you haven't seen this, it looks like an UGG boot when you set it in the right direction. It is, of course, fully adjustable for length of pull. You press your setting down, slide it out, pressure release, excuse me. There we go. And set it to your desired setting. It is a little bit stiff. I've noticed on some of the other ones that I've shot, as you spend more time with it, it does loosen up, does get a little bit easier. The other thing, and this one's kind of an oddball option, but it does have an adjustable cheek riser on it as well too. So it will lift up, I'd say about an inch, give or take. I'm assuming this is if you're shooting something like an ACOG with a RMR on top of it. I would assume that would give you a little bit of extra room or a little bit extra height to on your cheek weld. Seems a little bit useless, but it is what it is. Of course, this thing does fold to the side, and the firearm is capable of being fired in this configuration. Rolling over to this side, the stock does lock in to the shell deflector with a little tab there, so it keeps it from flopping around. And let's lock this bad boy into place. It is I'm going to say a right-hand only gun, but does eject from the right-hand side. Does have a shell deflector though, so you can shoot it, you can fire it offhand if you will. But if you are a lefty, it is something to consider. And then as I said before, it does have the standard mag release there with the ambi on the other side, and you do get the smaller of the two safety levers on the right-hand side. Some things that I wish they would have improved. Obviously, the charging handle, that's been a complaint of everybody, and I'm glad to see they fixed it. But still has a whole bunch of Picatinny rail on it. Really would have been nice if they had extended the handguard along the same lines as the CZ Bren 2 and given some M-LOK options down the side. The aftermarket does have some support for this. There's a few different people that are making those, but it would be nice for this kind of money for it to come with those features. At the time of this video, These things are selling between $3,400 and $4,000 depending on who's in stock and what kind of deal you can get on them. But tax, shipping, and all for a roughly $4,000 firearm would be nice if they had included some more modernization to it outside of just the charging handle. As always, per viewer request, we are going to grab a weight on this bad boy. And let's see here. So, if you can see that, we are at 7 pounds, 12.97 ounces, so 7 pounds, 13, so just a hair under 8. And then with a empty magazine in there, should probably put it right at the 8-pound mark. And the last thing we'll get to, as always, is the trigger. So this is a battle rifle, and I want to preface it with that because the trigger is not bad for what it is, but it is quite heavy. So it's a 2-stage military trigger. So you're going to get a lot of grit there in the take-up in the first stage, and you can kind of hear it there. But you come up against that wall, there's just a hair of creep, break, and then there's a long reset, very audible, just past the wall, break. And it definitely feels heavy, but it's actually not bad for what it is. A little bit notchy, a little bit gritty, but it's not overly long. There's not an excessive amount of pre-travel or post-travel. And the reset is decent for what this thing is, which is a battle rifle. Weight-wise, we'll get a measurement on this bad boy. So first stage there coming in about 5 to 6 pounds. Break, 6 pounds, 15.3 ounces, so just shy of a 7-pound break. Second pull. 6 pounds, 13.2 ounces. And last one. 6 pounds, 15.1 ounces. So very consistent in that we'll call it roughly 7-pound range. Like I said, definitely very usable. It's a very good trigger for what it is. And of course, the aftermarket does provide multiple options if you do want to decrease the weight or go to a single stage, whatever your preferred preference may be. But out of the box, definitely feels very usable. The other thing, if you haven't seen one of these, I do want to make mention of, is that with the stock over, it is still able to be fired, which is kind of a cool little feature there. And with the stock too, the first couple times you use it, you do have to kind of bang it in place. As that plastic starts to rub against each other, it will eventually wear down and become a little bit easier to click in. But fit, finish, quality does feel very nice, feels very solid. We don't have a bunch of rattling or anything like that. If you watched my Bren review, you know, the stock on that thing kind of jiggled. This actually feels very tight, no movement, no little bit of wiggle in the lower, but not a whole bunch. Everything feels tight, everything feels solid, which is what you'd expect for almost 4 stacks. So as always, we are going to take this out to the range, and this is actually going to become a test platform for optics. For those of you who are unaware, the SCAR has been notorious for destroying optics, so should be a good platform to test some more we'll say budget-friendly optics to see how well they hold up to a little bit more brutal recoiling gun. And I should say that the recoil on this thing is actually not terrible for the ones I've shot. It's just the way that it resonates, it destroys optics. So we will see if the non-reciprocating charging handle and the lighter weight bolt actually helps with that as well too. So guys, I do appreciate your time watching this. As always, stay safe, train hard.